black one there is a 2 amper on that small little wire. We got 3 amps. 3 amps. Now the only thing I'm concerned about is, since this is the master switch here, these two guys, these may pop because they may be too small. But if they pop, I can put in bigger size, no big deal. Because they run a lot of stuff. The master switch runs, it feeds all my LED lighting and 2 12-volt ceiling fans, as well as 12-volt TV, a little USB hub that is just trickle charging radio and speakers and stuff. This guy's not even plugged in, the radio. I gotta plug him back in for charging. That's his connection there. And the Android box, it powers the Android box, and some. So 3 amps is kind of one of these things. It may be too close if I have everything on, so I can always jump up to a 4 or 5. So yeah, that kind of be a little tricky. We'll see. Now the only issue with that is, because I ran everything through the master switch, which is my main controls here, let's say a ceiling fan blows out, pulling too many amps, it's going to shut off everything. All my entertainment system's just going to go boop, and that's it. So it's not on an individual basis, these fuses, which kind of sucks, because that's what they're supposed to do, but we'll see what happens. So I still got to mount everything and kind of clean up all this nightmarish wiring. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, I gotta go, unfortunately. But fortunately, because I haven't eaten today, and they're gonna buy supper for me. They're going, which is awesome. So that's nice. And yeah, so that's about it. All the damage I can do for today. I'll be back later for more videoing as I get more time. So we'll see you guys later. Alright guys, back at the off-grid tiny house. It's extremely rainy out. And here is the times, dates, and temperatures. Hopefully you guys can see that. I got the light on the camera, which is awesome. So, it is raining. It's been raining for quite a while. I didn't get up to 11 because it was so dark out still. So obviously no water coming in the tiny house. It's still too cold, and if, like I said, but if I was in here full time, I'd be catching all this rainwater. But right now it's being bypassed back outside. I got some nasty looking issues here though. The battery is sitting at a crap level. But what are you gonna do? Can't do much. But you guys should know, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, I'm more interested in the mystery leak that occurred back in the storage area here. We got to see what kind of damage took place. I don't see any water yet. Everything looks pretty dry actually. Yeah, it does. So let's see, with all this rain, guys, I'm still getting very little leakage in here via this drip. Now, it's weird because I taped around where it originally started leaking and it moved over here. So I may rip that tape down, but maybe not. I'll just keep it as is. That is insane. So I got lucky here, guys, because you know how nasty. I thought I'd come into a flood almost, right? I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen, and that kind of makes things a little bit more difficult to figure out. If the leak is not, let's say, if the leak is not getting worse, even in high rain all morning, and probably the rest of the day. It's one of these really crappy, damp, cold days. Oh, you can't quite see my breath in here, but it's not good, guys. I got to figure out how to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna start a fire because it's freaking cold in here, and then I want to finish off that 12-volt fuse holder that I was working on yesterday, and get it mounted, clean the wires up hopefully, and go from there. So I'll shoot that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Well guys, it looks like a bunch of spaghetti right here. I don't know if I cleaned it up much, but at least I have fuses installed anyway. Pretty disgusting wiring. I wired the tiny house before I had this 12-volt fuse holder, but in retrospective I should have gotten that with the master switch so I could have a nice clean install from day one. But this is kind of like a crappy retrofit that I gotta handle. So I'm just gonna mount this thing. It's not gonna be the best whatsoever because I have little to no wiggle room with this item, and it's pretty lame that way. Because the master switch, well, let's just say the master switch is pretty much a pain at this point. So I'm probably just going to put the 2 screws in. And that one's even touching the wall, so it's not the greatest outfit whatsoever. But that's the way it is. Oh boy. So I'm just going to put 2 screws in, and that's there, and all the wires are still in. Everything's installed still. Now these little switches for the lighting in here, I should staple these up, but I don't have a staple gun with me. I actually should have put those on actual light switches, which would have been so much better. But when you're dealing with Rob's low budget project here, I got to cut corners where I can, I guess. So, not the greatest thing in the world here whatsoever. It is complete spaghetti back here, and that's kind of why I hide it with my DVD cabinet. Now, one thing I gotta mention, guys, down the center of this 12-volt fuse holder is a bank of red lights. Now, I'm assuming they don't draw very much power because they don't look the case. Oh, there we go. Let's solve that switch. I put it on top of that one. Well, maybe. Let's go like this. Just absolute spaghetti right here, guys. Do not do this at home. Make sure, here's your tip of the day if you're trying to learn off-grid from me. Buy your switch panel and your 12-volt holder first before you run any of your wires. That way you can have a nice clean install and not have what you see here. Because it looks horrendous. But it is a little safer. That's all I can tell you. So I did not bring the lithium battery yet again because it's pouring rain. We have very little solar today, and I was more concerned about the leak over here in the storage area than I was anything else, really. So yeah, now I'm gonna leave the dresser. I'm not gonna put the dresser back. The reason being is I still have to try this out. So when we get a decent day, I can come back with the lithium battery and I can install it, obviously, have it start recharging, and then I'm going to power this up. And how I'm going to test the fuses is pretty neat. Basically, I'm going to turn everything on one by one slowly. And if the power goes out, then that means I need a bigger fuse for that section. And that's just the way it is. So it'll be interesting to see how we make out with this. And I've never used one before. And I believe all the fuses are in tight and ready to go. So everything looks good. So I have mostly 3 amp fuses installed. But I do have one 2 amp fuse installed. And then up here, I'll tilt the camera up. At the beginning of my little video series on this awful looking wiring, I made my own, before I had the fuse holder purchased, I made my own little inline fuses here. So I just took blades and stuck the blade fuses into the female blades. So they work, nothing's blown. These are 2 amps as well. And I believe these are on individual loads, which is nice. It is coming down out here. I can hear the rain like crazy. So I can't do much more back here for today. What I did though, I'll get rid of this light and take you with me. Sorry about the awkward camera here. As a precaution, even though I didn't see mega leaks coming in, it's still a very small trickle leak, even though you guys can probably hear the rain on the roof out there. Yeah, see how slow that leak is? So it's kind of a blessing, but just in case, I put this other transparent container down, and just in case. And then I have my I put my cooking oils in there, but I don't use them for cooking. I use them for starting fires because they work really well as a fuel. But yeah, let's get back over into some light out of the damp tiny house and over by the fire. Sounds like a plan to me. Okay. Oh, and I should mention the cover for... Here, let's set you up by the fire. The cover for the 12 volt fuse holder is here. You can put labels on here, stickers, to label everything, and make it a hell of a lot easier to tell what is what. Though, I'm really not going to go there, I don't think, because, well, we'll see. But we'll see how my test goes anyway, and then I can label stuff. My fire is going out. What's going on here? Not fun whatsoever. Fire is definitely going out. I got a nice bed of coals down there, but let's see. It's just starting actually, and got a little action back here. Had to be poked around a little bit, get things organized. I've been putting a layer of cardboard down over my previous ashes because I'm trying to use up this crap cardboard that I got, and then I kind of build the fire on top of that as a base. But this time, I don't know, didn't take. So anyway, I'll be back. I'll restock it here.